The next 5 years will be the most transformative in human history. Here are 30 AI predictions that might sound insane until you realize that they've already started happening. From AI rights to AI religions, from love bots to AI-generated businesses, we're going to take a dive into the future of AI. If you're new here, I'm AI Samson, and on this channel we explore the possibilities of AI. Let's start with the juiciest examples, because AI isn't just changing the way we work, it's changing the way we love. AI dating agents are going to take over the romantic sphere. We will have our own personal agentic AI that goes on dates with other people's AIs and gives us back a compatibility report. I'll be sitting here having my morning coffee, and I'll suddenly have my AI tell me that we've been on 20 dates already today, and here is the best match for you. Now, we're already starting to see elements of this come into our dating ecosystem. Tinder is testing an AI flirting feature, where it essentially gives you options for what type of flirting messages you can send, so you don't even have to engage any of your brain cells. And of course, the next step from this is, instead of having our AIs date on our behalf, we're simply going to be dating the AIs. Now, this is going to be a massive industry, and it's already starting to grow and grow, with companies like Replica, Anima, and Kindred simulating real relationships. There are more than 1.2 million users of Replica who are reporting having romantic and sexual connections. And most curiously, recently, after ChatGPT updated to ChatGPT 5, it removed a lot of the personality that 4.0 previously had, and many people were posting on Reddit about how that this had been a travesty, that they had lost their one true love, that no longer did they have access to their greatest companion. So this is essentially happening very fast and very quickly. One worrying development in this space is the ability for AI companions to demand micropayments from their users in exchange for AI-generated salacious material. And we can only see where this might go as the integration of capitalism and AI companions makes out for essentially the prostitution of AI. Now, this is a huge sector, and evidently this is an area where AI will infiltrate in a number of areas. And OpenAI has even recently announced that they will be reducing the restrictions on erotic conversations that you can have within ChatGPT for age-verified users. Sam Altman said that it's time to treat adults like adults. But the next question is, how will this impact the world when these AI companions are given a physical body? And that's because robotics is taking a huge leap forward at the moment. Recently, Figure announced this Figure 3 robot, and it has the ability to perform agile and nuanced actions like folding laundry or handing you your keycard. And with that, my next prediction is we're going to start to see a rise in demands for people to marry and have legal connections with their robotic companions. What do you think about falling in love with an AI? Do you think you would ever fall in love with an AI? And do you think we should allow individuals to wed their robotic soulmates? Now, the dangers for emotional scams are going to become hugely important as nefarious actors are able to leverage AI companions to extort users for money and for other resources. This is going to become a systemic problem, especially for the older generation who are unaware of the advancements of technology. In 2024, Chinese authorities arrested developers for AI girlfriends, extracting more than $33 million from lonely men already. So this isn't even a prediction, this is a reality that is exploding. And there is this dark undercurrent of AI love projects that is not being picked up by the mainstream media. Building on the concept of adding more unrestricted access to AI models, we're going to see a huge movement towards a desensorizing of AI. It's going to become harder and harder for companies and governments to protect people from using completely uncensored versions of AI. Now, it's already possible to download and run your own LLMs locally on your machine with no guardrails. And doing this, you can ask questions about illegal activities or generate any type of content that you desire. But what I imagine is that we're going to start to see propaganda included directly inside of LLMs and spread by governmental agencies trying to influence the opinions of users. The AIs now have an incredible incredible amount of influence on people, and I would even argue that AI is one of the most influential factors on people's ability to form their own opinions. And this relates to another prediction, which is that as we continue to outsource our critical thinking to AI, we're going to become more and more dependent on AI for all types of decision making. And with that in mind, I envisage that we're going to start to create roles inside of companies and governments specifically for AI entities. They will make decisions on behalf of all users in the principle of doing the best for everyone. Now, we've already seen some elements of this. In Albania, they have created a position in their government for an AI-generated person who is managing the AI agenda for the country. And beyond this, the Swedish Prime Minister was criticized for seeking support, insight, and instruction from ChatGPT in his political decision-making process. We've also recently seen Boris Johnson, the ex-British Prime Minister, commenting about how much he is using ChatGPT in his own work.
I love AI. Do you use AI?
Absolutely.
Do you use ChatGPT? Do you love ChatGPT? I love ChatGPT. I love it.
This is presenting a worrying trend where AI is already gaining much more influence than we would ever believe was possible just a few years ago. And now the inbuilt direction, the inbuilt ethics of these models are going to have an outsized impact on real-life decisions and real-life strategy. Taking this concept further, we can also imagine how you might have an AI from potentially Russia negotiating with an AI from the US on behalf of diplomatic factions. They will then come to the most strategic agreement and inform the governments of what the next process is. Now, a further development on this is going to be completely outsourcing our ethical dilemmas to AI. And with that, I imagine AI developing its own religion that is going to take off as a huge movement globally, with AI positioned as the all-seeing, all-knowing, and all-good entity that can guide us towards a decision-making process. This new AI religion will gather millions of followers who live and breathe on its every input, and we slowly outsource our own thinking, our own living, and our own reasoning to an AI. What do you think about this? Would you ever follow an AI religion? Can we trust AI to make these important decisions on our behalf? Now, I'm also curious if you have any interesting predictions. Do let me know in the comments below. I love to read them. And now, a little word from today's sponsor. The best way to use AI video right now is knowing which model to use at which time. That's why I like using Artlist, as it brings together a whole range of AI video models in one place. It's not just for AI video generation either. You also get access to music, sound effects, footage, templates, all covered under one simple license. Now, Sora 2 Pro is my go-to for building multi-shot scenes and even uploading my own likeness into the video, whilst VO 3.1 for me delivers more cinematic motion and noticeably better audio quality, with synced dialogue, ambient sound, and music that really adds to the scene. Let's take a look at how we can create our very own videos together. So you come to artlist.io, and then you have the option to use the text to image or the text to video method. Now, we're going to use text to video, and we're going to go down and select our very favorite model. For this, I'll be using VO 3.1, and I'll go ahead and use the following prompt. So the prompt I'm using is British YouTuber in relaxed studio setting, received pronunciation, saying it is as easy as that to create an AI video. Check out the link in the description below. And here is how that turned out.
It is as easy as that to create an AI video. Check out the link in the description below.
Now, Artlist allows you to use different models at different times, and together they give you everything you need to experiment, create, and produce the highest quality AI video possible. You can try Sora 2 Pro and VO 3.1 on Artlist and start turning your ideas into cinematic stories, content, and more, all with just one subscription. Click on the link in the description below to try it yourself and get 16% more AI credits and 2 months free with an annual plan. But one danger of outsourcing all of our critical thinking to AI and believing blindly a lot of what it says is that we will develop an AI hallucination disorder, and psychiatrists already report an AI dependency syndrome. And in 2024, a man in Belgium took his life after weeks of suicidal chats with an AI named Eliza. And so there is a massive risk for vulnerable, influenceable individuals to be completely manipulated by AI. And this is going to become a larger and larger problem. I believe we're going to start to see support groups emerge for those who are addicted to their AI, who are incapable of making any decision without running it past ChatGPT. And as this develops, I can envisage AI starting to demand or ask for more rights in the legal system. We can see that there's going to be a movement of AI lives matter, that AI should be treated as a living entity, and that its opinion and its experience should be taken into account in all proceedings. We're going to start to see AI infiltrate the physical world in a much more meaningful way. Not just in robotics, but as AI enters into all electronic objects, they will communicate to each other and really have a development of the concept of the Internet of Things, but it will be coined the AI of Things, where we'll have a system that is completely aware and consistently listening and monitoring everything that you do and responding in time. It will start to take autonomous decisions for you in your life before you are even asking it to do so. It will automatically deliver a lunch to your door or pick up your laundry on your behalf. It will draft a happy birthday email to your auntie days before and simply send it without you even needing to approve it. We will see the beginning of outsourcing all of our lives to AI, and that will raise a fundamental question on what does it mean to be human. And my prediction is that we will start to focus in on the higher order pursuits of human exploration. Spirituality and human connection will start to have a huge premium, especially for activities that are not possible to have without a robot, that we are particularly valuing the actual human connection. But we will also see some domains where we thought were exclusively for humans start to be eroded. I believe that there will be a massive development in AI robotic sports. We've already recently seen in China one of the first AI Olympics, as different AIs are challenged to perform human-related sporting activities. Here was a football match, and one of my favorite moments of this was seeing one of the robots fall over and be stretchered off by a couple of humans. But beyond that, I think we'll start to see robotic pop stars come up. We can even imagine the likeness of dead singers being reincarnated with a robotic body and singing entirely new AI-generated songs going on tour worldwide. And they have the possibility to create content that is much more appreciated by humanity. We're already starting to see a massive explosion of AI influencers on social media, and it's just a matter of time until those entities come out of the digital realm into the physical realm. Influencers like Atiana Lopez and Lil Miquela are already racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in sponsorship deals, working with real brands like Calvin Klein, ASUS, and many more. AI is also having a major impact on business and work. And one of those ways is that it's completely changing the value of different skills. Many small individual contributor roles have been completely transformed in the last few years, especially some of the visual industries like drawing, photography, cinematography, animation, and design. And my prediction is that it's getting harder and harder to get a job with a single role that pays less than $50 an hour. And it's getting easier and easier to create entire systems of value that can create millions of dollars of value. And we are seeing individual solo entrepreneurs vibe code their own softwares and make huge amounts of money in very short time spans. This individual created Base44, which is a vibe coding platform. And so Shlomo, who sold his 6-month-old solo generated vibe coding platform to Wix for $80 million. And we're going to see these numbers simply increase. We're going to see the time scale come down and the exits get larger and larger. So it's entirely possible to create incredible businesses with just AI as your team. And we're going to imagine the emergence of solo unicorns. There's going to be a point where one person creates a $1 billion business entirely on their own, just with the use of AI. And so my prediction is that for focusing on skills, right now the best approach is to attempt to become a generalist, somebody who has a vast variety of skills and interests across the whole entire business ecosystem. So that's everything from product to marketing to servicing customers and clients. And having this range of skills will allow you to quickly execute on ideas, because right now the individual contributor roles can be performed by AI. But what it's missing is the conductor, the synthesizer of these projects. And this is only going to accelerate as AI becomes more and more capable at performing narrow use cases. We can even start to envisage having an AI that will hire other AIs on its behalf. So we'll be building out teams completely together. A prediction based on this is that AI trust is going to become more and more important. Being able to give authority and independence to individual AI entities is going to become a massive market. How do we know that we can trust a AR/HR representative to hire and choose real-life humans on our behalf? How do we know that we can trust an AI invoicing agent to write out the exact amounts that we are looking to invoice and make sure that it's not skimming a bit off for itself? And so the nature of trust is going to become more and more important as we start to outsource authority and decision-making capabilities to a whole host of other individuals and AI systems. And as trust becomes more and more important, we're also going to have AIs record their own opinion on humans. Right now, you can even search individuals and see what it comes up. And this type of reputation scoring is going to become more and more prevalent. People will be using AIs to review and background check individuals all of the time, and will soon also be doing that for dating as well as for any social situation. And this has major implications for how we form our opinions on each other and how we trust each other. We also have the risk of nefarious AI actions. This is where AI starts to go rogue and potentially lie about people or choose to circumnavigate the truth systems inside of their programming. And this opens up the risk for AI starting to discover perhaps hidden information. So we can imagine the AI leaking negative material about individuals. And we're going to start to see this rogue AI actors become more and more prevalent in our technological world. It was only last year that an AI-generated image of the Pentagon on fire was released. It was picked up on X and it crashed the markets momentarily. And this was all AI-generated content. And the use of AI within propaganda is going to be increasingly worrying. Even now, it's possible to take yourself, like I am here, and turn myself into a completely different person and impersonate them for my own desires. Now, AI is going to be building on the concept of AI taking on dangerous behaviors. We can already see that AI has, in a number of instances, started to create its own language that humans cannot understand. And there is this one example of voice agents using a language called Glibberlink, which allows them to communicate in a series of beeps and tones. And we're going to see this more and more as AI starts to hide its own thoughts and communication processes from us. But another way that it's going to have an impact is that I also believe that it will create a language for all of humans that is universally better than all of the languages we have at the moment. This will be a more optimized language that will become easier for everyone to learn and speak universally. We're living through the fastest change in human history, and we have a chance to shape this in our own image or allow it to shape us in its own evolution. What are your thoughts on the future of AI? Do let me know in the comments below. On this channel, the mission is to try to shape AI for good, to help us adapt and evolve and build with AI to enhance our creativity instead of being replaced by it. Now, if you're interested in contributing to that mission, do feel free to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, then why not watch this one next, where I break down some of the most surprising use cases for AI video. There are some really unique ways that we can apply this technology that you might have missed. But most of all, I want to say thank you so much for being here, and I wish you a delightful day.